We wait for.
You want to try this, Dr. Tim? Okay, I'll show you.
What do you do to make it black? Now, first, how do you make yourself black?
Black? Your
Black.
side is black, is it?
No, just now you were black for a while. This is not so nice. I tried before.
Yeah, okay.
But just now, how did you make your screen black?
Oh, I didn't make my screen bright, I think. Here. Okay. Okay. So,
Brother Benjamin is here. Brother Benjamin from Malaysia or from India?
This is from Ipoh.
Oh, DSJ Benjamin from Ipoh.
Yeah, from Ipoh.
Yeah, I'm from Ipoh. Yeah.
I thought you're a Bollywood actor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He's one of the few who really think.
Have you written any books, sir?
God, on the Holy Spirit. I'm writing one more, which I was talking to, Pastor Joshua. It's on. I will send the title to you. I'm writing 29 chapters.
Yeah. Send in the group, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Dr. Teo is coming on. We're going to start very soon.
Coming in really, SPC Ipoh.
Yeah. But where's Clement?
Clement is coming in also.
I think once Clement comes in, we start.
It's okay. I think you can start first because he's second round.
Better if he's.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait for him.
Hi, Canon, Dr. Teo. You're at work, huh?
Apologies, actually I forgot. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, you're looking younger than the photograph, lah. My apologies. I put the wrong photo. Huh? You're looking younger than the photograph we put up. So sorry.
Just color the hair. That's all.
Evergreen, Dr. Teo.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
A bit soft, Dr. Teo. A bit soft.
Okay, the moment Clement comes in, we start.
He's here already. He's coming in.
Okay, we're going to mute everybody. Okay, I think Clement is in.
Yeah.
So, very good afternoon. We welcome you to a Pause for Christ meeting. This is our third session on reviewing books, member reviewing members. So I will begin the first half to review Canon Dr. Teo Soong Kee's book called Our Daily Rise. And down there, he put there spiritual food for Asians. But when I went through it, it's actually spiritual food for all Christians and not just for Asians. So this is a unique title, quite similar to that of Our Daily Bread. And in it, there are about 50 devotionals, 50. And the devotionals cover areas like Christmas, Easter, but it focuses on two particular books. And one is 2nd Chronicle. And interestingly, 16 of the devotionals are focused on Revelation. So this afternoon, we are all hot on Revelation because after this, the second book is about the 7th unfolding of Revelation. Yeah. So now, as I went through this book, it's a devotional, and actually all devotionals are special because God speaks to us through the devotional. It is mini sermons, and of which there are questions thrown at us. I like the way he ends by saying something for us to ponder about. You know, he's being the canon. He wants you to think, chew about it, digest. Then he talks about promise, a promise from God, and then a prayer. Now, of course, we are, as Asian, we know that rice is in replacement for bread, you know. That's why he chose this catchy title. I think like the chicken soup, someone has changed it to porridge for Asians. But I found a few interesting things, you know. One is that it's given free and it's a fundraising for the orang asli, which actually raises fund or gives food, gives rice to our orang asal or orang asli. And also some of the principles inside there, I like it. I like his quotation from Proverbs. Let me look at it. I read it. It comes from Proverbs 30, verses 8 to 9. I'll read this version, then I may read the NKJV version. It says here, this is when he covers the topic on riches and folly. Of course, I cannot go through everything, but I just take one devotional as an example. And this is something quite fresh, which hit me also. It's about riches and folly. And this chapter in Proverbs 30, if you read it very strongly, is verses 8 and 9 says, give me, and the psalmist is saying to the Lord, Solomon is saying to the Lord, don't make me either too rich or make me either too poor. And interestingly, I was one of those who told the Lord, I don't want to make too much money, otherwise I'll be corrupted. That's one of my mottos, But give me only my daily bread. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, who is the Lord? So I found that very powerful. But if you went on further, I'm reading from New King James Version, after who is the Lord, the same verse on verse 9, unless I be poor and steal and profane the name of my God. So this particular devotion is talking about contentment. So actually, for a new Christian, I think this is quite interesting book to take him journey through different aspects. Of course, if you are a seasoned Christian, many of the things you already may know about, but nevertheless, many things come up fresh and new, like this one. And I also like the way, I'm not sure whether it's original. Later on, Dr. Theo will tell me whether it's his original, but I think I've seen it somewhere before. I like his reminder of acts, adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. So, this is a daily bread with this 50 devotional. It's supposed to be taken over a year. I think since there are 50 areas of devotional, but because in preparation, I've gone through it before and I go through it again, I consume this meal in 1 week. So now you can see I'm a bit overnourished after taking 1 year's food for 1 year. So congratulations, Dr. Theo. I think I've given a bit. Thank you for this wonderful concept, our daily rice. I think your only competitor in Malaysia is the daily porridge blog by our brother Tan, I think. So what gave you this idea suddenly, our daily rice?
Well, obviously in Asia, we don't eat bread every day. We don't need to eat bread every day, but we all eat rice every day, especially the South Asians. In fact, rice eating is probably more prevalent in the world than even bread. Okay, that's number one. Number two is devotions are meant. There are many books on devotions, but very few with some slant to our Asians. You're right, it's meant for all Christians, but especially for Asian Christians, because I mentioned certain points, for example, about the Solomon, when they asked, the Chinese always ask for the full lok sao, right? Full, longevity, health, and wealth, wisdom and wealth. But that's good. I mentioned that in my devotion. But as Solomon said, he asked for wisdom. And so I quote, there's also a devotion about the year of the rooster, which I don't think you'll find in any other devotion.
Yeah. Was it the year of the rooster that you wrote it?
I was born in the year of the rooster. So
I see.
And how is the rooster relevant in the Bible also, right? You know about the story about Peter and the cockerel, and also, so there are a few mention about the rooster in the Bible.
I saw it and I thought it was because the book was written in a lunar year rooster.
I happen to be a year of the rooster, so
okay.
And therefore I decided that we must make it very topical, and so I call it. And then I see the rise of chopstick, and recently you have a lot of controversy about chopsticks. Chinese use chopsticks. So, but I have also translated into, got it translated into Chinese. Okay?
Wow, fantastic. Yes.
So it's not Chinese. They don't call daily rice. They have an they got daily food lah. Right? But I still use a chopstick symbol. And then, I have also recently got it translated into Bahasa. Now in Bahasa, Bahasa speaking Christians in Malaysia do not usually use chopsticks. So I decided to change the title, the picture. That is how the Bahasa book is like. Because I thought Bahasa speaking Malaysians, including Sabahan, Sarawakians, Indonesian or orang asli, usually don't use chopsticks. So I thought I better change
Wonderful.
the picture. All right. So, but I got it translated in now. This is my only book that is in 3 languages. All my books are only in English. And I purposely written them short, brief, simple, so that you don't have to go through many pages.
Yeah.
And topical, and also more devotion to ponder. It's not really a Bible study. For example, those devotions or Revelation, I will refrain from doing any prophecy, trying to do any predictions. It's only at the various parts of the chapters in the Revelation, how we can ponder, how it affects us now. Don't worry about all those controversies, especially a lot of controversies about rapture and about the prediction. I have purposely avoided such writing.
Yeah,
It's not controversial, but relevant to in a way when we face the end times.
Interestingly, Dr. Teo, your 16th devotion was on Revelation, and this afternoon also we are going to cover Pastor Joshua's book on Revelation. But something came out which I have never heard except until I read this, which is very interesting, that you mentioned one of the good reasons why Jesus said no one knows. Because if Jesus had said, I won't come so soon, maybe at least another 1,000, 2,000 years, then the whole Christian kingdom would just fall asleep and say he's not coming yet. So I like that. And it also echoes with the two parables that he says, one parable, the man came back, the owner came back earlier. And the other parable, which is the virgin, he came late. So that was very good. So just to highlight for those who have been who are late, Dr. Teo has written many books, but one of the features of his writing, it is always fundraising. So he's always raising money. And this one actually is to raise money for the Orang Asli. So I think that's amazing. I think Clement, who is going to review Pastor Joy, is also another fundraising writer. I must consider that how to be a fundraising.
I find it's a big headache trying to sell your books. I'm sure most of you will realize that you got to have marketing, you go to shop, and in the end, the shop to make some money from you. And so I decided, no, I'm not going to do it that way. And I wrote down that we are giving, freely we'll give. So the books I've written there is not for sale, but donations are welcome. And all the donations will not come to me. I will not bother about the money. The more you give, the more people benefit, and particularly the mission, the Orang Asli mission. So for this book, for example, Daily Rise, I must have collected at nearly 8,000 ringgit.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, Dr. Teo.
Some people give 50 ringgit. A few even give 100, 200 ringgit because they know it's meant for mission work. Okay?
Praise the Lord.
Trust me. So, and some people who may not be poor may not even give me any donation. Fine, that's fine. And whatever I collect, go to the mission. I will pay for the cost of printing. Since it's self-printed, self-published, it's not that expensive. It costs me probably about 5 ringgit to print one copy. But I print 1,000, so about 5,000 ringgit is my cost, which I will bear, and it's my contribution to the mission. But those who will get my book, they want to give some contribution, they're welcome to do so, whatever amount, and I will put 100% to mission.
Well
so
done, Pastor Teo.
Bother about how to sell, how commercializing it at the same time. It's my contribution to mission. At the same time, getting people to be involved as well.
So the new writers out there, I'm sure there will be, after today's meeting, many more. Please start, you can consider starting off by doing a book meant to bless others. Don't worry about the funds. In fact, my printer can get this down to even 3 ringgit. And also, I won't say too much to market mine, but I also have a devotional. But as I was writing, the Lord said, give it free. And then you can see here, free copy. So this I've been giving out free. And like Dr. Teo, the funds will come in. So to date, I've received nearly 10,000 donation towards the cost. So it's been great. Are you writing any book before I pass on to our next team? Are you writing any book?
I've got 2 books now in the progress. One is actually my early years. I have already written a book on my medical career. I think that's called A Doc's Life. I've written about my school days.
Show us your doc's life.
Pardon?
Show us the copy of your doc's life. You must compete with Brother Andrew.
Right. This book is it's about my medical career.
Okay, you must market it more.
And all about also as a gynecologist.
Okay.
Some humorous anecdotes.
Okay.
Not vulgar, not pornography, but
All right.
Quite interesting to read.
Maybe the next time round, I do not know when we will review this book. So
I have written a book for my Christian career. I got Save to Serve. Okay, and what all my ministries are for mission, preaching, teaching, social concern. So all my 35 years of Christian ministry inside this book.
So what's your third book?
And this book I written after I went through my chemotherapy 8 years ago.
I read through that.
Well, it was Cell Wars. And during the time I was on chemo, and there was how I felt like going through the treatment, as well as the friends we have supported.
Okay. Dr. Teo, we don't have time to review all your books, but today we want to focus on this. Yeah. But I want to say that your Cell Wars, can you show your Cell Wars again? I was very touched by the testimonies from all people from all different walks, including, our beloved Muslim brothers who wrote inside there. So we will review that another time, but I think I want to review your doc's life so you can compete with Dr. Andrew. Otherwise he's sapu all the time. Yeah. What is your next book if you are writing on your life?
Yeah, I think about my early years.
So do it as a trilogy. Now you got 3 books, The Doc's Life, Save to Serve, and your early years. Make it as a trilogy.
The time of my grandparents now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we have only covered 20 minutes. Maybe you want to say some thoughts, how to encourage people to read. Any thoughts you want to say?
Right. I think more important to do not have books that are too thick. I find most people would get turned off by big books. Number 2 is have a fairly reasonable large print. A lot of people find it tedious to read if the books have very small print. Number 3 is write in simple English. Don't use a lot of big words. Majority of people are not impressed by big words. They want to know the content. And make it affordable. Or as I said, in our case, make it free or depending on the contribution, so that nobody can say I cannot afford. That's my and write something that is a bit different from. There's so many books in the market, right? Something a bit different, not the usual books that you can find anywhere, but written by even more famous authors. So then people will say, okay, there's something different. Let me see how it's like.
One more thing, is Dr. Teo is also a poet. So I want you to read 1 or 2 of your poems. Can you pick up 1 or 2 of your poems? And we want to hear it from the poet himself. Of course, this is not in the daily rights. It's not in daily, but never mind. You read 1 or 2 poems since we have time. Let's hear your poem. You also a songwriter, isn't it?
Yes.
But I think we go to poems a song another day.
Yeah.
He's a man of all seasons.
All right. This was one during the time when I had my chemotherapy. So I wrote down, what is life? What is life if not for friends, who even through the span of years are ready to smoothen your fears. What is life if not for family, who never fails to be out there to shower the love, joy, and care? What is life if not for health in the whole body, mind, and soul keeps us going towards our goal? What is life if not to serve the needy, the poor, and the weak with what we have, not what we seek? What is life if not for God to pray and worship and obey for his blessing each passing day? What is life if not for faith in Jesus Christ who calms the waves? Many sinners like me he saves. What is life if not for hope? When we face the life obstacles, we can pray for God's miracles. And last verse, what is life if not for love? From the Lord above we receive, so to others we freely give.
Thank you, Dr. Teo. You know, I can confirm that Dr. Teo is a senior, although he looks 45 years old, because he's senior to me in medical school. So, but he looks 45 years old. And I want him to give us a few tips on the secret of youthfulness. And I think I know two. One is your beloved wife. Her name is Nancy, is it?
Yeah.
His beloved wife, who is also a nurse. And
She's
yes,
not well dressed to show it on the video, but that's how.
okay, yeah. All right. So if Dr. Teo is 45, I think Nancy must be 35 or 40. She's somewhere in the background.
In our 70s.
Yeah, but and what else? I think you are a happy person.
That's I think one of my. I would say if people ask me, I will tell them in Cantonese. More kick some. That means don't always get depressed. More hug some. That means wicked hug some wicked, and don't more thumb some. Don't be greedy. So these three, don't be greedy, don't be depressed, anxious, and don't be what was that? Wicked.
Evil-hearted.
Toysome. That means open your heart.
Wonderful.
And I think that is one thing good that kept me. Never bear grudges. I mean, sometimes people don't agree. I'm also a man of a strong opinion. And sometimes we quarrel and argue in the meeting. After the meeting over, forget about it. And do not have any grudge anymore. I think that's a good philosophy to follow. As a Christian or even as a non-Christian.
So for the readers, if they want a copy, I presume you have to write to Dr. S.K. Teo, Ipoh Specialist Hospital, and he will post it to you. I mean, and of course, donations are welcome. Yeah. It looks like today is a Ipoh crowd, Pastor Joshua, so Ipoh, Benjamin, so Ipoh. Well done, Ipoh.
Thank you.
We have enough time. We will pass now to Pastor Joshua in case any, and also Clement. Unless you got any last words you want to say, Dr. Teo?
No, it's okay. That's all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Teo. I think it's just a glimpse of this interesting book, and take your time to go through it if you get it. Some of the devotions are actually quite deep. So it takes time for you to sink in. Don't rush through it. You don't want to eat 5 bowls of rice in one day as I did, but enjoy it and you will get nourished. Thank you again, Dr. Teo. With that, I pass the time to Clement. Clement, it's all yours to review Pastor Joshua's time.
Dr. Timothy, before we go for the next session, can I ask Dr. Teo a question?
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Teo, it seems like you're doing the charity for the Orang Asli, which is the same thing I am doing now. So if people buy your books, they online the money to some organization or to your own account?
No, I in fact in the book there is a bank account of the Orang Asli Gereja Shalom, so you can send the money directly to Gereja Shalom bank account. Don't even send to me.
Okay. Do you have a launch? Do you do a special launch day to do this charity event?
Oh no, I'm not. It's ongoing. I've been doing this Orang Asli for the last 25 years, so it's an ongoing thing.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Teo, since you are doing Orang Asli, I got something to be connected to you and discuss
Sure.
more privately after this session.
Okay, sure.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Now, Dr. Timothy, I take over for the pastor.
Yes. All yours, and
Pastor
Pastor Joshua can close the meeting. All yours.
Okay, now we are coming to the second session. We are going to review one very interesting books by Pastor Joshua Tan. The name of the book is 7 Unfolding Events in the Book of Revelation by Joshua Tan. Now, before we go ahead, I'd like to introduce who is Pastor Joshua. Pastor Joshua Tan, of course, is very famous in Ipoh. Everyone know about him. Next time, if I drop by in Ipoh, if I lost my way, besides asking the GPS, I probably will tell people, Pastor Joshua Tan, brother, probably he will lead me to his church. Yeah, okay. Pastor Joshua Tan has been a very successful corporate person, and therefore he has written a few books with regards to the corporate world. And later on, he became a pastor, and he wrote even more books about Bible, yeah, about Christianity. Now, the first book, I think, I do not know where is the sequence of the book that he published. One of the books that is that he's about effective Salesforce recruitment by Joshua Tan. I think Pastor Joshua, we have a same background. We are in the sales. I'm also in the sales previously.
It was the first book that I published, Brother Clement. That was the first book. Yeah, it was published by MPH and Popular.
Right.
Under this banner of Azizi Ali. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Azizi Ali, a very famous pilot. Yeah, and the second one is second book she wrote is a goal setting for success. And then third book followed by that is goal setting for success dalam bidang kehidupan. I think this is the translation.
That one is actually a translation to Bahasa Indonesia by this one in East Jawa lah. Yeah, in Malang there. Yeah, so they translated the book into Indonesia for us, for me. So it's actually published by them also. Yeah.
Right. So those are the three books he wrote during his corporate days, and I think the writing book is the one that we can record all our experience, our learning point to the next generation or to the people around us. And those are the books I believe when you read again, Pastor, probably will remind you all the experience that we've gone through. Then later on, when he became a pastor, he wrote even more books about Bible. Now, the first book written here is 40 Days Biblical Application of Current Events. And the next book followed by that is The Name of the God, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. And then, last but not least, this is the book that we're going to review today, The 7 Principles of, before that, there's another book, 7 Principles of Forgiveness that Transform Your Life. And finally,
yeah, that maybe I just add, Brother Clement, that book was written together with another 2 authors, Dr. Cherian from India and Bramson. I think those of you from Indonesia will know him. But Bram, correct? Bram Noi. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so you have a co-author from international arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very good way to actually to reach out to the different country by co-authoring with different authors in different country.
Yes.
That's a good strategy, I would say. Probably the other authors may want to follow that strategies in order or to explore in the other countries' territories.
Yeah, but there's one aspect, Brother Clement, there's one aspect that I need to touch on. It's best not to be over more than 2%. Because like this book, I have 3% involved. So there's, the cohesiveness of the book need to be, really drilled in. So I think it's best that the maximum is 2%. 2 authors will be the best. Yeah, maximum.
Yeah. That's a good learning point because I have the experience with the 6 or so. With the other 5, 6 of them. So it's actually a very true statement. 6 people have a lot of different ideas. So it's good to limit into 2. So one Indonesia, one USA, then you penetrate the USA and the Indonesia, and another one China, the whole country is yours. Okay, so today the books that we're going to review is about the 7 unfolding events in the book of Revelation.
Yeah.
This is the book, and so I would say that in terms of all the books in the Bible, the most difficult to understand or the most controversial understanding of the Bible books is the book of Revelation. Now, I'm going to review the books. I'm going to ask Pastor Joshua to review the books. First of all, we'd like to ask Pastor Joshua, why do you write this book and what is your objective of writing this book?
Okay, thank you so much for the question, Brother Clement. In fact, how I became Christian was when I was interested in eschatology. When I first started off, I was always pondering about the end times, end times. And I still remember that time I was in St. Peter's, Dr. Teo Church. I was with Mooning that time. So I always tell about this end time, and then so much so that it's too loaded with information about that. People say, so you just say, and I still remember people say, oh no, you don't have to know so much. You just your life is right with God. That will be the most important. But I would say that what motivated me to write this book is that because I feel that as you say, there's many people who have this what do you call it, a disappointment of knowing the book of Revelation, because they find that it is a very, as you say, it's a very tough book to learn, and there's so many misconceptions, and there's so many what do you call that, division of this whole book. But this book is made in such a way that is simple to understand, and it's a clear outline, from the words of God, that events that will unfold and that will affect our life. Yeah.
Okay. What is your objective of writing this book?
Yeah, very good question. My objectives of writing this book is so that the truth of God will be able to be presented to the people who are seeking the truth, especially in eschatology. And I always believe that in our what do you call it, our belief system, our what do you call that, our the way we brought up, and also the way we approach the Bible, and then how we interpret it will determine what is our eschatological stand. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to share my experience of reading the Bible.
Oh, okay.
I think the first time I read the Bible, I have a doubt in myself. What happened to me? When I read the Bible, I don't understand. So I have to go and buy the commentary Bible books and read from head to toe. So those are my experience. So these are the books that the books written by Pastor Joshua is basically interpreting and explaining about the books in detail. So from the pastor perspective. So Pastor Joshua, why don't you give the overall view of your book first before I go into chapter by chapter asking you about the content of your book?
Yeah. Okay. I would say that I don't know whether you can see this. It's a bit hard. Okay, let me try to off. I think it's okay. There is this chronological, I call it a prophetic panorama, where the whole eschatology viewpoint. When we study eschatology, we need to go back to the verse in Daniel 9, verses 24 to 26, which is a core verses of the Bible about this end time. Because in Daniel 9, 24 to 26, it's about the first 69 weeks of Daniel 9, and then it will tell about where 483 years have happened, and the last 7 weeks, all right, which is it's called the Jacob trouble. The end of the first 69 weeks happened, and now the last 7 weeks is not happened yet. So that is the reason why the prophetic clock has stopped. So that's where it comes in. All right, that's where it comes in. Now the rapture in the first chapter is rapture. The rapture is a very, very controversial chapter, because there are basically 4 viewpoints on the. If you are a millennium, you have 4 viewpoints. The pre-tribulational viewpoint, where actually is talking about the Christian will escape, will not go through the tribulation, which is 7 years. All right, and again, the 7 years tribulation is again different from the Great Tribulation, which is 3.5 years in the words of Jesus. All right. So the rapture all right, is this, first of all, is this view, and then also you have the post-tribulation view, you have the mid-tribulation view, and the pre-wrath. There's a 3/4 before the 7 years ended. So there are these four views, but I think it's sufficient to say that, don't want to make matter worse, but I think we have to see the whole context, as Brother Clement say, about what I write from the beginning. Chapter 1, I delve into the rapture, all right, because that is a key to the whole eschatology viewpoint. And then I delve into the chapter 2, the emergence of the Antichrist, all right. Chapter 3, the 7 years tribulation, where I actually, differentiate between the 7 years tribulation and the 3.5 years Great Tribulation. And chapter 4, the second coming of Christ. Now, Brother Clement, it's very interesting to note that, a lot of Christians thought that, there's 2 second coming of Christ. It's not 2 second coming, but 2 stages of his coming. The first coming, which is the rapture, he come for the saint, and the second one, the second coming, which is he come for with the saints, all right, which is parousia and apocalypto in Greek. Yeah. And after that, I'll follow up with the chapter 5. The next event is Millennium, and chapter 6, the Great White Throne, and I close it with chapter 7, the eternal stage. That is the whole prophetic panorama of the whole book that is in this book, the 7 unfolding events in the book of Revelation. Yeah, over to you back again, Clement. I think his line is not so good. Huh? Freeze, is it? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think you were freeze just now, huh?
Yeah. My line is something wrong today.
Yeah, I think they call it the low bandwidth, is it? Is it low bandwidth?
No idea. Certainly happened in the area. But anyway,
okay.
I noticed that you have another book. You also start with the 7 principles, and this book is also 7, 7 events.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you use 7 in your book so frequently?
Okay. To me, the 7 is a very interesting to me, because in the Bible, the 7 represent completeness. Okay. Like for example, 6 is the number of man, and all the numbers in the Hebrew language, they have this numbering system. Like for example, Aleph is 1, Beth 2, and so on and so forth. So you have this number 7 is a perfect number, complete number. So that's why I even in my third book now I'm writing also got the number 7. All right. So that's why I like the number 7, because it's represent completeness. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Let us start with this chapter 1 review of your content. Perhaps you can explain a little bit more of the content and what you are trying to pictures, to send the message to the readers. Chapter 1 is the rapture. So you explained a lot about the rapture and also the second coming. Can you explain about the content of the first chapter?
Okay. Now, interesting to know that the rapture never occurred in the Bible, but actually it does. Even though it does not found in the English Bible, but it is found in the Latin Bible, and it's called Rapture, Rapere, and it can be found in the 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 17. So the rapture, it means that I believe, because I'm a pre-tribulationist viewpoint. That means we'll, so to speak, escape the 7 years tribulation based on the words in the Bible, Revelation 3:10. We say that, because you have kept my command to persevere, I also will keep you from the hour of trial which shall come upon the whole world. You see, this trial is a different trial from the everyday trial that they're going through. Of course, Jesus say that in the world you will have temptation, you have trial, but be of good cheer, I have overcome it. But this trial is a different trial because it happened to the whole world. And the Bible says this 7 years of tribulation is unparalleled in the human history. And so the words will keep you from is from the Greek word ache. All right, that means they keep us out of and not give us not through the hour of testing. In other words, we will not go through the Greek tribulation, but we will rapture out. Now, it's inconsistent with the theory of the imminency in the Bible, and also I find that the rapture is imminent. In other words, there's no one incident or events that will trigger the rapture. It can happen anytime. Yeah. So basically, the difference between the rapture and the second coming of Christ is that the rapture, once the rapture happen, all right, it would trigger the 7 years of tribulation that will happen into earth, and there will be this hell on earth, literally hell on earth. All right. So after that, after the 7 years, then Jesus will come back for the saints. I mean, with his saints. I mean, together with us. Okay.
Right. Okay. Now we come to the second chapter. The second chapter is the emergence of the Antichrist.
Okay. This second chapter is very interesting because a lot of people want to know about the Antichrist, but actually, we don't have to worry about it because as far as we are concerned, we will not see the Antichrist because he will be gone before he come over. And there's a many what do you call that? I believe that he might be a Muslim or he might be a Jews and all these things. So that one, you just read the book and then you will find that, I write down there, he cannot be a Muslim because of certain reasons. Yeah. So it's very interesting because the Antichrist means it's not just anti, not just against, but in replace of Christ. He wants to be like Christ. He wants to be like God, you see. So that's why the history have shown that he wants to be the Most High in Isaiah and all those things. Okay, that's the second chapter.
Who will be the Antichrist?
Yeah, as I say, if you want to know actually the Antichrist, it's a very good question. You want to know the Antichrist. Now, the Bible says in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 to 18, it says that if you want to know, calculate the number, or it is the number of man. Now, when we calculate, there's a lot of misconception that we use a Roman to calculate it. It's not. We have to use the Hebrew language or the Greek, right? Because the Hebrew, as I said just now, Aleph, Beth, Rev, Dalet, and so on and so forth. And Jesus said, "I'm the Alpha and the Omega" in the Greek, and I'm the what do you call it? I'm the Aleph and Tau. That means I'm the first and the last. So this is very interesting because we will use the Hebrew because the Hebrew, when you add up, you find that there will be a number 666 that equal to a man name. Like Jesus actually is 888. Some of you might not know. Yeah, his name actually is 888 when you calculate it using the Greek. Yeah. Oh, again, he's frozen again. Okay. Yeah, okay.
So as from your pastor point of view, can our layman use our car plates number 666?
Oh, well, actually, that one is actually a different story because the number is just a number, so we cannot be too what do you call that, too influenced about this thing. But of course, to be let's say for example, people ask, can Christian wear crosses or can have this tattoo? It's the same question. So we don't want to make other people fall already. So I think in that context, yeah, we do according to what the Holy Spirit direct us to do. Yeah.
Okay. Now can you elaborate on your chapter 3, the 7 years tribulation?
Yeah. Okay. In this 7 years tribulation, I list down the 7 end time players. Namely the woman, the dragon, male child Michael, the angel Michael, remnant, beast of the sea, and beast of the earth. So actually, I identify with all those characters, the players in the book. But I just suffice to say, because it will be too long if I just expound on it. But it's suffice to say that each of the what do you call that, the players have to be fall into its respective places, so that it's like the book of Revelation is like a jigsaw. So when you put the right things in the right perspective, in the right proper place, so the whole jigsaw will be able to form the right one. Yes, over back to you, Brother Raymond. Done.
Okay. I apologize, but because my line is quite bad. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can we go for the second chapter, Pastor Joshua?
Second chapter.
The next chapter.
Chapter 5, chapter 5.
Yeah.
Chapter 5 is the millennium. Okay, millennium is a literal 1,000 years of Christ rule on earth. And as many of the events have been fulfilled literally, like the first coming of Christ, so this one also will be fulfilled literally, right? The millennium, temple-related activities, especially in Ezekiel 40:48, will are related to Jews, and all those things will come to pass, and so the Millennium Kingdom is a very interesting time frame, because in Isaiah 65:20, I just want to quote this verse: "There shall be no more tens and infants of days." In other words, there will be long lived, nor an old man that had the few his days. For the child shall die 100 years old. You see, the child will die 100 years old, but the sinner 100 years old shall be accursed. Now, during the Millennium Kingdom, Christ will institute a perfect government, and so it is a global government. So that's why, I always say that before the good things, expect the bad thing first. It will happen first, this 7 years, this hell on earth, and after that, Christ will come back with his saints and rule on earth for 1,000, literally 1,000 years.
Do we know which 1,000 years?
Sorry?
Do we know which 1,000 years?
Which 1,000 years? That is 1,000 years after Jesus has come back with his saints to the earth. That will be the 1,000 years. That will be characterized by peace. Yeah.
All right. So let's come to the next chapter, the great white throne judgment.
Oh, that is chapter 6. Yeah, chapter 6 talking about the great white throne judgment. This is where the Revelation 20, where the judgment in which all the wicked human beings will be charged, and will be cast into the lake of fire, will occur after the Millennium Kingdom. Okay, so this in one sentence to summarize, and I just go to the last chapter. The last chapter is the eternal stage, all right, where God, who created this present heaven and earth, will destroy it and create a new heaven and earth, ushering in the eternal stage. Okay, I think that's the sum up, because I think we almost times. So, but I would say that this book has birthed as a result of a prayer and the quest for continued inspiration from the Lord. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Joshua, for your explanation of the books and review of the content.
Yeah,
and I think anyone that who can write any books on any subject, I would consider that is the expert of that subject matter. So frankly speaking, that I also find that the book of Revelation is also very difficult to understand. But after reading books of your book, it helps me to understand better of what is the content and what are what the book is trying to review. So okay, I would like to open this session to the rest. Is there any question that you want to pose to Pastor Joshua Tan? Because Pastor Joshua Tan is just like the rest of the doctor, a lot of doctor in our midst here. Dr. Timothy, Dr. Teo, Dr. Andrew, Dr. Megan, all the doctor, and also so is there any question that you want?
Hi, Pastor Joshua.
Oh, hi, Dr. Andrew.
I'm writing a book on Revelation. Is the 83% complete as as of today, I'm 83% completed.
It's a lot.
But I am on a different format. Mine is a verse by verse through the book of Revelation, from Revelation chapter 1 to Revelation 22. I have done my beta copy now up to chapter 19. I'm pleased that you are also reviewing my beta copy. So in less than 1 week, I would have finished. Yeah, I agree with you. The 7 stages are there in the book. You will read through the whole book of Revelation. The 7 stages that you described is actually there. It's right in the Bible, right in the Revelation. It's not difficult. It's not very difficult. It's actually not difficult. You just have to read through it verse by verse, and read through it like reading any book, and pray for the Holy Spirit, and you will be there. It's not difficult. I agree with Pastor Joshua Tan. It's not difficult at all. You just have to pray about it and don't be frightened of it. It's a very enriching book. The Bible, the Revelation is a book of 7, 7 letters to the 7 churches, the 7 function of the Holy Spirit, the 7 stages that Pastor Joshua talked about. It's all about 7 bowl, 7 seal, 7 trumpet. So you read, when you study Revelation, watch out for 7. There's a lot of 7. A lot of 7 is a book of 7, the complete number. I congratulate Pastor Joshua Tan for his effort. In fact, Pastor Joshua asked me to co-author, but I find it hard because I myself is doing the same book. And I don't have time also. So congratulate Pastor Joshua. Well done. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
You deserve a clap.
Thank you, Brother. I think Brother Clement has yes, Brother Clement. The team, I think back to you, to the team. Clement, the signal, I think no good. Dr. Kim? I think Clement is offline. Okay, so I think just waiting for him. I would just say that this book that I have written is actually is based on faithfulness. That because God has oh yeah, he's here. God has bestowed me with the inspiration to know the minus. For example, in the book of Matthew, where we know about the discourse. Oh yeah, you're here. Brother Clement, you're back. Okay, back to you.
Yeah, I'm using my mobile phone. Now.
Better. I think it's the line. The line.
Yeah. Sorry. Apology for that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Any question on that? You are answering some of the question, Pastor?
Yeah, no, just Dr. Cole was giving his comment just now. So now back to you.
Yeah, okay. So is there any other question anyone want to raise to Pastor Joshua about his book or about his writing? He's very productive in writing. How many books now? How many books have you written, Pastor?
6.
6,
yeah.
So you definitely have to write another one to complete the 7.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Have you started for the 7 books?
Yeah. There's another one, the 7 resilient principles that overcome the world financial crisis. Subtitle amidst the COVID-19 onslaught. It's also the 7 principles.
Yeah. Is it published already?
No, not yet. It's still on the way. Still writing. Yeah.
Right. That's good. So that 7 books will make you complete for the 7. Very good. Very good. Okay. Is there any advice that you want to give to any authors that how to publish 7 books. You know, beside Dr. Andrew, that who can publish about 28 books in 2 years.
Yeah, I think I would like to say that we need to be unique now. We need to be unique. Like what Dr. Teo say is very true. We don't we need to get the grasp of the whole thing that we want to write and make it something that is distinct from others. You know, like there's so many books on Revelation. What make this different is that because it's, you know, I say that in the back cover. I mean the back cover there. I say the author has been researching this event in the last 30 years, okay? Currently pursuing his doctorate in ministry. He can put the end time jigsaw puzzle together without being influenced by having to conform to the doctrina and tradition of a different denomination. Why I make this segment is that because you see there's some overall view about this end time, the pre-tribulation view especially, that all Christians will be raptured up, which I disagree. There will be some Christians that will be left behind. All right. I just discussed with Pastor Benjamin just now, and there will be some who left behind, you know, based on a number of verses. So that's why, you know, I choose to defer, you know, yeah. So that's why we need to be, not just because we want to be unique, but because I think they're so rich in the scriptures. The Bible says that there are 4 layers of truth in each of the words of God, you know, and so we have to go back to the Hebraic words and the Greek, which I'm studying both. So it's a very interesting language to study. Hebrew, you know, and like Dr. Teo also involved in it. We know it's from the right to left of the Chinese and the Greek, and all those things. We need to go back to the root of because it's based on their tradition and where they are written and so on and so forth. So then we can know the audience, the targeted audience. Now, I just want to complete this last segment of mine. Now, the book of Matthew, everybody say that, you know, based on Matthew 24, the chronological events of that Matthew 24 is that they say that, you know, after this great tribulation, after the sun is darkened, the moon is darkened, and all those things, it's true, that is a sequence. But the context is actually is dependent on how we interpret the book of Matthew. If it is from a Jewish background, that means a Jewish flavor, then we tend to base the book, this eschatology viewpoint on the pre-tribulation viewpoint. But if you base the Matthew on, you know, from a different perspective, there's a wording, then it will tend to be a post-tribulationist viewpoint. So as I always say, our hermeneutics will determine our eschatology viewpoint. Yeah, that's my conclusion.
Okay, thank you, Pastor, for your comment. And now the time is almost up. So what is the pre-announcement for the next event, Pastor?
Yeah, I think I pass the time to Dr. Tim.
Yeah, at the moment, no one has asked for his book to be reviewed. Maybe Pastor David Goh will review Chris Pichaimutu's book, but it's open. Any member who's keen to have his book reviewed, you can either propose someone to go through your book and read it.
There are messages in the chat box, Dr. Tim. There's someone who wants to be reviewed of a book.
Yeah, please contact us on that. And on this point, actually, I have one book, and I based my book called Y2K. Remember, as we crossed 2000, we had the fear of what will happen in 2000. That is Y2K. So the Malay version is Yesus Kembali. So I changed it to J2C. I'm not going into the controversies on how and what, but just to warn people, he is coming back. Yeah.
Amen.
And I like Dr. Teo's comment, which I didn't see elsewhere, that one reason why the father or the son doesn't know, of course, is if he said, I'm coming back in 2000 years' time, all the churches all will fall asleep. And then even the enemy also fall asleep, because the enemy actually trembles also with the second coming of the Lord, because he knows his time is up very soon. So may we live with the fear of the Lord and to be watchful until he comes again. And I must thank you, Pastor Joshua, that because of your book and also now Andrew's book coming up, I have decided to read all the Revelation books around me. I got David Poston, Dr. Chu's book, and there's one by an Israel author, very detailed, and I got Moses Sewell's book. So I think we have to go into it and understand. So with that, thank you all very much, and may the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you. and be gracious to you and give you his peace. Thank you for coming. The numbers are not big, but I believe on the YouTube more will appear. Yeah. So my guess, if there's no application to be reviewed, it would be Pastor David Goh reviewing Chris Pichaimoto's book and someone else reviewing Lisa's book, which is a very moving story. Take care, then. God